Good morning and welcome back to Equality TV. My name is Carolyn and this is my new vlog called Carolyn's Next Chapter. The purpose of this vlog, the initial purpose is really to put to bed my old blog that I used to do, which was called Nocturnal Emissions. I did it for about 2 or 3 years. And in Nocturnal Emissions, I really covered a lot of issues pertaining to myself and my view of what's going on in life around me. I'm in the community, and I'm sitting here as we speak going through the blog so that I can put the blog to bed and looking at some of the issues that I was able to touch on. Whether it's gender in the black church, which was a very, very big thing. My views of being a queer woman and a lesbian woman who is still very active in the church and still very connected to my relationship with God and the church. I talked about my views on Queen Latifah. Who would know that anyone cares about my views on Queen Latifah? And they probably don't, but it's still there on the blog anyway. Going from my views on my relationship with my father. I was able to do a blog about masculine offender mothers for Mother's Day. So really touching on a lot of the just things that are going on in my life. The people that are around me, and really race, gender, community, cultures, arts. I believe I have a blog simply about how I feel about women in music. And all of my blogs were inspired by different songs that were in my head, and they were always connected to the way that I feel about things. And I thank Glover Lane Publishing for giving me the opportunity to now compile those into one book that will be forthcoming in fall, and you'll be able to read that. And Equality TV for allowing me to still go on with you into a new chapter. And now you can actually see my face and hear me talk, which is feeling kind of weird. I feel like Archie Bunker sitting in my recliner talking about what I think about race. But I hope that I look a lot better than Archie Bunker. I know that I do. May he rest in peace. But one interesting question that's come about recently in my work in the community is, does race still matter? And someone asked me, why can't we all stop, specifically black people or people of color, stop segregating ourselves and identify as humans so that we can all move on to this utopian view of life, and we can then, I guess, all be happy. All of our race problems will be solved. We're all now humans, and everything will be great. Now, of course, that's not exactly the way that it was put to me at the time, but that's the way that it filtered into me. And some of that isn't really how it was put to me. But I live here in Long Beach, California, one of the most diverse cities in the nation, in the state, if not the nation. Whether it comes to race, whether it comes to gender, we do definitely have the largest LGBT community, or second largest, I believe it was revealed here in the state of California, only to San Francisco. And I believe that race does still matter, gender does still matter, place does still matter here in this community as we try and solve some of the issues going forward through building healthy communities, which is something that we've had the opportunity here in Long Beach to really put an emphasis on through the Building Healthy Communities organization, starting some of these very great conversations as what is a healthy community. It's not simply just your diet, it's not simply just the food that you're putting into your body. It's the environment, the air that you're breathing. It's your safety in your communities. It's your mental wellness, feeling safe, feeling that you can communicate, feeling that you have a place to go. All of those go into building a healthy community. And it's interesting, I was able to listen to a seminar with one of the women from the Policy Link organization, which is funded by the California Endowment. She gave us this nice handy book, which is Why Place and Race Matter. And although it focuses mostly on California, obviously through the California Endowment, but it can be lended to any major urban community. And one of the definitions that they have here in the book as to why does race matter, it says, race is a central consideration for the healthy communities movement. Race has shaped our regions, creating places that offer profoundly unequal opportunities to their residents. In many ways, race remains our deepest divide. Effective strategies to build healthy, vibrant, sustainable communities must address both race and place openly and authentically. This report illustrates how to improve the economic, social, physical, and service environments of vulnerable communities through race-conscious strategies. So, why does race matter? Why does gender matter? I know that they don't talk about gender here in this particular book, but that to me, that's still a part of building a healthy community. Why does it still matter? Because we still have people who are living in inequitable states here, here in California, throughout our nation. People who are still being segregated into areas where one segment of the city may be in a non-safe, toxic environment, where the other segment of the city, the wealthier segment of the city, may be having clear skies and not have to deal with the same things that community is living through. We have the issue of food deserts, where people can't get to healthy foods in our community, and unfortunately, a lot of this is focused back on race. Two of the cities that were highlighted here in this book, I actually am residents of both of them. I'm a resident here in Long Beach, but they also talk about Richmond, California, which is a highly industrialized city. They have the big Chevron refinery there, which has brought so many jobs and opportunities into the community. I am from a Chevron family. My uncle, if I'm 34, I know that he's worked there 34 years, my entire life. But we want to make sure that our communities are still healthy. That we want to make sure that our children are, not coming into this world with asthma, or not coming into this world with these health issues that that stymie them through life. We want to make sure that our communities their LGBT communities are safe. And if we're not having these conversations, how can we start to build those communities? So I hope through watching this blog, we've kind of touched on the surface here today. I hope that we get another opportunity where we can talk a little bit about how we as a community can continue to build these healthy communities, to understand how race plays into our communities, how gender plays into the communities, how we as community members, we don't have to be elected officials to make sure that we see change in our communities. So I want to thank you again for joining us. I hope that you're having a great and awesome day, and I will see